There is a sense, I believe, in our fellowship that in this 20th anniversary year, we're kind of at a hinge point, sort of at a turning point. And this morning, as a part of the coordinator's reflection, I've invited some colleagues and friends to join me, and let's talk together about CBF and hear some voices, for all of you to hear some voices that reflect past, present, and future. I'd like to introduce these friends on the platform with me. John Tyler, who is a layman from St. Louis, Missouri, a former moderator, very involved in the beginning of CBF and has been a strong supporter. John, thank you for being here. Babs Ball, a laywoman from San Antonio, Texas, a member of Woodland Baptist Church, and has been a great benefactor and lover of CBF and partner organizations and ministries. Thank you, Babs, for being here today. Larry Hovis, who is the coordinator for North Carolina CBF, a pastor by experience and training, and represents not only his own perspective, but I think the perspective of state and regional organizations. Hollman, who is the general counsel for the Baptist Joint Committee of Religious Liberty, and a great friend. Thank you, Holly, for being here. Stephen Cook, who is the pastor of Second Baptist Church in Memphis, Tennessee, a graduate of BTSR and Bright Divinity School, and a great friend. Thank you very much. And Emily Holladay. Emily, a student at McAfee School of Theology in Atlanta, a former staff member, Passport, and we're glad you're here to participate in this conversation. Let's talk a little bit about CBF. Let's kind of talk about past, maybe what a memory is, or a reflection, or something that is important to you that you'd like to offer just as a thought. John, why don't you start?
Well, Daniel, I was elected to the coordinating council way back in 1993. And when I went to my first council meeting, I looked around the room and I saw pastors and professors that I knew by reputation but had never had a chance to meet. I recall people like LaVon Brown, Hardy Clemens, George Mason, Julie Piddington Russell, and Buddy Sheridan. But the thing that really struck me that day was the number of lay people who were in the room. Yes. And I soon got to know them all. Yes. People like Pat Anderson, Pat Ayers, John Cothran, Joe Hairston, yes, Helen Moore Montgomery, and, yes, of course, Carolyn Weatherford Crumpler. Now, those were early days, and we sort of wondered if CBF's really going to make it. But when I saw that men and women, clergy and laity, had a place at the table, I knew we were going to make it. And I knew that the Baptist principles as we understood them would not only remain alive, but they were going to thrive.
It's good. It's good.
You know, I was at that first meeting where we didn't know if anybody was going to show up but us. It was really kind of frightening. That was before the Earth's crust cooled. And one of the things that I remember so vividly was sitting there being amazed at the people that were flowing in, and then listening to Nancy Ammerman, a woman, preaching, beautifully, intelligently preaching. And I too was on an early coordinating council, and I felt the lack of trust. It was sad, really, but we had learned to distrust. We had learned to look to see if we should smile at people or not. Yeah, yeah. So we had to start over building relationships, which we've done.
I would say to both of you that one of my memories has to do with people. Yeah. And there's one person that comes into my mind, particularly today, is Ed Vick. Yeah. Yeah. When the interim steering committee brought the recommendation to the very first meeting in 1991, we recommended that this be called the United Baptist Fellowship. That was our recommendation. Ed Vick went to a microphone and stood up and said, "We Baptists have never been united about anything. But we can cooperate. I make a motion that we name this the Cooperative Baptist Fellowship." That's how we got our name. And I saw Ed Vick in the month of May, just a few days before he passed away. He's gone home to be with the Lord. But my memory as well is of people who've shaped us in the past.
Daniel, I really remember that 1991 moment in the Aid Vic speech very well as well, because in May of 1991, I was a young pastor in Richmond, Virginia. My wife, Kim, was working at the Foreign Mission Board, but more importantly, she was 7 months pregnant with our daughter, Lauren, and amazingly gave me permission to travel to Atlanta for this big meeting. And what's been interesting for me is as we have watched our daughter grow up during these 20 years with CBF, because it's been a part of our family and a part of her experience, and as she has gone through childhood and adolescence and now young adulthood as she turns 20 next month, we've seen CBF do the same thing, and in a sense we've all grown up together. But it all goes back to that May of 1991 meeting when I had this pregnant wife and all of that, you know.
Let's segue to the present. What does CBF mean to you now? What is important to you in the present? Just a brief thought or reflection about the present.
You know, I think as one who has been rooted and reared by Cooperative Baptists throughout my formative years in preparation for ministry and now in ministry, I think on our best days, Cooperative Baptists are so thoroughly Christ-focused, so rooted and grounded in this desire to know Jesus and to know His heart more, that it compels us and it gives us a place, one among many perhaps, but a place where we can come together and know that when we are here and that when we participate with one another, that we are going to be about something that matters to God and that's near to the heart of God.
That's good.
I would say too that CBF is so important in the way it connects us with each other. Local churches and speaking from someone who serves in a partner organization, CBF is a great vehicle for cooperation with the larger Baptist family. Those that have the historic commitment to religious freedom work together, not just through connecting churches through CBF, but through its partnerships, the larger Baptist family, people who differ from us geographically, theologically, as well as the greater ecumenical and interfaith community. So that cooperative spirit that connects those who are involved with CBF to the greater world is so important.
What they're saying is true for me as well. I mean, the fellowship piece is important, but it's not just because we're people that like to eat fried chicken in a room called the Fellowship Hall. Right. We're a community, but we are a missional community, and that is we come together, states, congregations, partners, the fellowship movement, to participate in God's mission in the world. So our community has a larger purpose, and that is God's mission, and that's what it really means to me, Daniel.
Yeah, and Larry, this community has really helped me. For me, it's been a place where I've embraced my call and where I've learned how my talents and passions can help the missional focus of this organization. And I mean, obviously, I've been given so many opportunities just to speak and to be a presence in this community. But I do have to say, as a representative of my generation, it is a struggle sometimes. My peers struggle a lot to find where they fit in, to find where their voice is heard. And it's a hard balance because they come out to things, they come out to listening sessions, they come out to things like that, and there's no one there representing them. And so it's a really hard balance that I've really been energized and loved being a part of CBF, but where do the other people my age fit in as well?
You've named a challenge for the future, the present and the future. Let's talk about the future.